to ESPN College Football presented by Sling TV. Today it's the SEC versus the ACC. Alumni Stadium in Chestnut Hill, and meeting for the first time the 2-1 Missouri Tigers, the 3-0 Boston College Eagles. BC undefeated with easy wins over Colgate, UMass, and Temple. How good are they? We should learn more today. Hi again, everybody. Clay Matvick alongside Rocky Boyman. Tiffany Blackman down on the field today. She'll join us shortly. BC, pretty good football team, we know that, but we are going to learn more today.
That's right, and no disrespect to the opponents they've played, but it hasn't been top-level competition. And also, they lost their starting quarterback, Phil Jurkovec, 2 weeks ago, so a lot of questions. Mizzou is a real team. We'll find out.
Yeah. As for Missouri, we do know this. They've got one of the best all-purpose backs in the country in Tyler Beatty.
Tyler Beatty is exceptional. I mean, not just in the run game, but also in the pass game. He's a dual-threat guy. He's their leading wide receiver and the number 2 rusher, Clay, in the SEC. He has a real knack in the pass game, finding out those open spots and getting the ball, and of course in the run game and behind that zone blocking, has the ability to take it all the way to the house. BC has got to shut down number 1.
Perfect day for football in New England. 72 degrees as we get ready to go. BC won the toss. They deferred, and Missouri will have the football to start this game. And it's a short kick from Danny Longman. And Chris Abrams-Drain will give Missouri good field position to start the first drive of the day. So let's bring out Connor Bazelak, 6'3", 212-pound redshirt sophomore out of Dayton, Ohio. Second-year starter, turned 21 on Wednesday. He's been extremely efficient, Rocky. 9 touchdowns, just 1 interception, and he's completing over 67% of his passes.
He's a guy, the more I watch, the more I like him to play. He is content to play boring football. He's not going to play a bunch of risky football out there and put throws in harm's way.
And he's going to quickly get it into the hands of Tyler Beatty. Cuts it up across the 30, down to the 31-yard line. Missouri's leading rusher and receiver. BC's got to know where he is at all times.
Yeah, you do, and it's such a weapon, to be able to come out of the backfield. It keeps the defense on their heels. They don't know what he's going to receive the ball, if he's going to run the ball. They got to know where number 1 is, though.
Missouri 2-1, wins over Central Michigan and Southeast Missouri. And a hard-fought loss to Kentucky. Tackle made on Mookie Cooper by Cam Arnold. And they think that Sam linebacker has a big future. Tim Lukabu is the defensive coordinator for BC. Jeff Hafley, the head coach. He has a big say, though, in how this team plays defense.
Former defensive coordinator at Ohio State.
Dawson Downing checks in the backfield. Third down. BC has the nation's best third down defense through 3 weeks. Here's Bazelak sitting clean in the pocket, dumps it down to Dawson Downing, the 4th-string running back out of Mission, Kansas. And Missouri will move the chains.
And watch the body language of Connor Bazelak. He's calm, he's cool, collected. There's a little bit of pressure in here. He just stands back and just surveys the field. I think he has very good vision, and he doesn't force the ball. There's a dig route coming in behind, but nope, I'll just take that easy check down, first down.
First and 10 from the 43. Bazelak, a pass over the middle, and it's snagged out of the air by Toski Dove, 6'2" junior out of Denton, Texas. Just his 8th catch of the year, and it's another first down.
And I like that ball placement, Clay. Dove is 6'2", so put it up high where only the wide receiver can get it.
So Missouri moving right along here on this opening series, already into plus territory. Missouri racked up 675 yards and 59 points last week against SEMO. Stiffer defensive competition this week for sure. Chance Looper, his first touch. And he's going to get it inside the 45-yard line before Isaiah Graham Mobley, the middle linebacker, gets out to knock him down.
Now here's the flip side, Clay, is Connor Bazelak only has 12 completions over 10 yards this year, okay? So BC's defense is thinking, hey, if we can keep everything in front of us, I think Bazelak at some point today has got to challenge this BC defense deep.
Yeah, I think Missouri fans are looking for that today as well.
Absolutely.
Tight end Nico Hay to the right side of the formation, play action. Bazelak looks right, comes back to the near side to Beatty. Nice stiff arm, gets along the sideline. and then is knocked out near the 42 by Chris Banks, the defensive tackle.
He's slippery, Clay. All last year, he only had 48 touches. He has 48 touches coming into this game. I think that's 50. It makes it 50 on the season. And we asked Eli Drinkwitz about it. Why didn't did he just really emerge? He said, well, maybe I should have played him more last year.
We talked about Bazelak's efficiency. 6 for 6 so far, throwing the football. On third down. They're going to run it, and BC was ready for it. Now it's a fourth down situation in plus territory, and a decision here for Eli Drinkwitz.
It's a good job there by BC's defensive line. A lot of youth there. You see Donovan Ezeraku, who just turned 18 years old today. But a good job forcing the punt here.
They're going to bring out Grant McInnes and try and pin the Eagles deep. The sixth-year senior in his second year at Mizzou after a transfer from Kentucky. Travis Levy back to return for the Eagles.
Levy's
standing
dangerous.
at the 10-yard line. End over end kick, and there's a penalty flag as BC ran into McInnes. So depending on what this call is, this could be a big break here for the Tigers.
Running into the kicker by the receiving team. 5-yard penalty. Replay, fourth down.
Now this gives Mizzou a decision here. It's going to be fourth down. But Boston College very good on special teams this year in the run game and the kick game, and make an uncharacteristic mistake right there, running into the kicker.
So does Eli go for it here on 4th and 1?
I think it's the area of the field. Look, you're coming across country. Do you consider making a statement here? And it looks like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, they are. Bazelak brings the offense back out. And this is a pretty good offensive line.
Tight formation by Missouri here.
And now Missouri wants a timeout to rethink this. There's Eli Drinkwitz, 38 years old, in his second year at Mizzou. He's his own play caller. In his first year, he led the Tigers to a 5-win SEC season. He's going to decide on this fourth down call coming up. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Two young second-year head coaches, Eli Drinkwitz, Jeff Hafley, matching wits here today. 4th down and 1 for Mizzou on their opening series. After the penalty, Eli Drinkwitz decides to go for it here on 4th down. Do you like this decision?
I liked it, but now since the timeout and the TV timeout, you lose the momentum a little bit. That's the only question I have. I like the initial decision.
From the 38-yard line, Connor Bazelak steps back with Beatty to his left. Plenty of time to throw. It's deflected, snared out of the air, and that's going to be a first down. The catch made by Kiki Chisholm after it was hit at the line.
Yeah, Kiki Chisholm is 6'5", so that's a good idea. Again, keep that ball up high. A nice wide receiver for Missouri and a big-time 4th down conversion here to start this game. Looked like the ball was tipped, but Chisholm came down with it.
Senior out of Dangerfield, Texas. So the decision to go for it pays off. And now Beatty gets loose inside the 15 and finally caught at the 9-yard line by Isaiah Graham Mobley. But that's a run of 24, and now Mizzou is knocking on the door in the red zone.
Outside zone, Clay. It's a bread and butter play for Missouri, and he reads it so well. Patience, and then hits that hole.
They're now going with tempo. The throw to the end zone, touchdown. Barrett Bannister, the veteran receiver, with his first touchdown catch of the year, and Missouri scores on its opening drive. Missouri so good in the red zone this year. That is their 10th touchdown in 11 trips as Harrison Mevis comes on for the extra point. And he is perfect on extra points this year, 17 for 17, and Missouri draws first blood.
And it was a great job of using tempo. You know, Missouri will go slow, they'll huddle a little bit, but they get a nice reception and boom, right up to the line after the big run by Beatty. Defense is just a little bit out of sorts, and then just a dart by Connor Bazelak.
Bazelak, more mature, more confident this year. Last year he was upside down, touchdowns to interceptions. This year, I said it before, very efficient. That's his 10th touchdown pass of the season.
Clay, I think the thing he does best is he knows he has weapons, right? He knows he has Tyler Beatty, he knows he has Kiki Chisholm, Don McLovin, all these receivers. So get the ball to them, get the ball into their hands, and let great athletes make plays. It's a great job of being patient by Connor Bazelak. You know, we live in a day where everyone talks about the huge plays the quarterbacks make. It's not all about that. Make the easy plays. Make the ones that are right there in front of you, and he does a great job at it.
Sean Ketting to kick it off here for Mizzou. Travis Levy back deep. He had a 96-yard kickoff return touchdown a couple of weeks ago. Won't get an opportunity here as we go down to Tiffany Blackman.
Guys, when I spoke to a couple of Boston College players this week, unprompted, they made sure to let me know that starting quarterback Dennis Grosel is that dude. And that's because of his approach to practice. That's what Zay Flowers told me. He said that even when Grosel wasn't getting all the reps, he was walking around, checking on his teammates, pulling receivers aside to make sure they talked about timing and making the routes better. And guys, as Coach Hafley told us, we know that Grosel hung in there. He lost out on that starting job previously to Jurkovec.
That's if Grosel, a former walk-on, but this is his 10th career start.
He's got a lot of experience. That's what it takes.
Going to go to the air and underthrown and intercepted. His first pass of the game is picked off by Sean Robinson, the strong safety.
And Clay, we saw this last week. The ball of Dennis Grosel has a tendency to die in the air, and that's exactly what happened right there. Saw it last week. First pass of the game, same thing. Right now, Missouri very much in command here in Boston.
ESPN College Football is presented by Sling TV. Replace cable with affordable live TV with Sling. And in part by Dos Equis. Get a dose. Please enjoy responsibly.
Doug Flutie is BC royalty. And he's hanging out here today. Great to see him as always. 7-0 Missouri. After the interception by Sean Robinson, the Tigers are going to go back to work on offense with great field position. Remember last year, he was a quarterback, moved to the defensive side of the ball in the middle of the season last year, and he's a big play guy on this defense now.
That's a huge way to start this game, get the ball back to your offense. And they don't have a turnover chain, they have a turnover robe at Missouri.
Right.
Love it.
They're going to feed Beatty again on first down, but he is cut down quickly. Bazelak on that opening series, Rocky, 8 for 8, led a 10-play, 72-yard touchdown drive in 4:38, and now they quickly get the ball back after one BC play from scrimmage.
Yeah, and he's just doing a good job, as I mentioned. Calm, cool, collected. Drinkwitz told us he's a low heart rate guy, right? He's never too high, never too low, just really does well dealing with the pressure.
He threw for 346 yards and 3 touchdowns last week against Southeast Missouri, but he did all of that in the first half. Didn't play at all after halftime, and now we're going to get another Missouri timeout. A little confusion down there.
Yes, something about the look they're not liking.
And Eli's saying that's all on me. Eli Drinkwitz will talk it over, iron things out. Well, Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One is a Big 12 statement game in Norman, West Virginia. Their quarterback, Jared Dagey, leading the Mountaineers against Heisman hopeful Spencer Rattler and number 4 Oklahoma. OU has won the last 8 against West Virginia, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC. And how about that interception last week by Oklahoma's DJ Graham? One-handed against the Huskers.
Like OBJ, right? That's the comparison. Which was a better catch? And I'll tell you what, a defensive guy coming over the top, just an absolutely exceptional play.
A picture that will define his career.
Absolutely. That'll travel around forever.
All right, so after the communication breakdown, here go the Tigers again. Beatty in the backfield. They're going to pass, juggled, and it's going to land incomplete. Intended for Toski Dove.
And that's what you got to do. Bazelak throws a lot of short routes, so you got to sit on them. Then once they're there, you jump it. This is just a great job of reading the quarterback's eyes. Gets the left hand around, relentless, ripping at the ball. Nice defensive play.
DeBerry, one of the top tacklers for BC, but such a great defender in pass coverage. Dawson Downing back in the game. He caught a pass to get a first down on the opening series. He's the fourth string running back. Bazelak going down the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Chance Looper as Jamin Muse was in coverage. So that'll be fourth down.
And it is important that Bazelak challenges this defense deep, so they can't just sit on those routes. That one just sailed on him a little bit. And a nice turnover on downs by Boston College.
So Grant McInnes will come back out to punt. Remember, the first time he came out, he was run into a late BC Eagle getting on the field. That was Jamin Muse. This one is going to bounce inside the 25, take a nice Missouri roll inside the 1. And that's what McInnes can do. 9 of his 12 punts the first 3 weeks landed inside the 20. Let's go to the studio and Kevin Connors.
All right, Clay, from one nice play to another, your Rocket Mortgage studio update. LSU on the board, Max Johnson, Kayshon Boutte, Sam Acho.
Yeah, look at the presence in the pocket. Max Johnson avoids the pressure, throws it to Kayshon Boutte. That's what's special is the receiver stays open, even in the scramble drill.
7-0 lead for LSU on ESPN.
Well, that was a big upset last year. This year, I don't think it would be that kind of a story.
Does anybody know what kind of team LSU has? They look bad one week and they look good another week. We haven't quite figured them out. Kind of like Boston College. Here's their chance to try to right this thing.
Well, after their 60-yard punt, BC backed up inside their 1. Pat Garwo is going to get the carry. One of 4 running backs we expect to see against this Missouri run defense, which has been much maligned the first few weeks.
Turn on the UK game. They gave up 340 rush yards to Kentucky, and it was on the pin and pull play. It was on the outside zone. Guess what plays Boston College runs? Pin and pull and outside zone, so now's their chance to correct that out in a couple weeks ago.
Dennis Grosel standing in the end zone. He threw an interception to Sean Robinson on the first play from scrimmage for BC today. Grosel's going to keep it. Not a great runner by any means. He gets across the 5 to the 6 as Nicholson makes the tackle. Zay Flowers, junior receiver out of Fort Lauderdale, is their best offensive weapon.
There's no question about it. He's the most explosive guy on this offense, and he only had 2 touches last week. I think that was kind of by design. In my opinion, Clay, he's got to touch the ball 15 or more times a day. He is that explosive, and Missouri has got to know where he aligns on every play.
Coming off a great 2020 season, first team All-ACC. Big tight end Trey Berry goes in motion. Here comes the pressure up the middle. Grosel gets rid of it, and that's a catch and a big run. Out to the 35-yard line, that is Flowers.
You can see why, right? He's got game-breaking speed. He can stop and start on a dime. He'll get passes and down to the field. He'll get jet sweeps. He'll get screens. Any way you can get the ball in the hands of number 4. This is a good release in the slot. And then, look, just get him the ball in space, and he's going to make some guys miss.
It's a gain of 28 for Flowers. They are salivating in the NFL over that guy already. Away from center, Grosel, deep handoff. Here's Garwo bouncing off tackles. Back to the middle of the field. To the 20. Goodbye touchdown, Pat Garwo. 67 yards, and BC answers.
And Clay, when you have one of the best offensive lines in the country, you use it, especially to the left side. Zion Johnson, the center, Alec Lindstrom, and then Garwo showing some, you see the great vision and the breaking tackle ability, and then showed a little speed at the end. You know, we talked about Missouri's got to stop the run today. Not off to a good start.
Garwo with that breakout game against UMass a couple of weeks ago. 160 yards on 15 carries. And he gets a big strike here. 99 yards on that drive. Big plays by Flowers and Pat Garwo. And BC ties this one up at 7. There's Missouri's defensive coordinator, Steve Wilks, the former Arizona Cardinals head coach. Biggest concern for him is his team's run defense. Already 71 yards allowed on the ground and a touchdown.
And they've been preaching it all week. Got to stop the run. The UK game we mentioned, they gave up 340 rush yards. And against UK, it was they were getting to the outside. They were pinning them down. They had no edge. That one was right up the gut that Garwo ran for that long touchdown.
Danny Longman to kick it off. Abrams Drain back deep. And he's going to receive it at the 3-yard line. Right up the middle, gets it across the 20 and down at the 21 as we go down to Tiffany.
Well, guys, I spoke with defensive coordinator Steve Wilks before the game. He told me his message to the team last night was to start fast, and he stressed getting turnovers on the road and how big that would be. He's got to be happy with the early interception that helped to lead to a touchdown, but guys, he's not going to be very happy with that Garwo run as they have struggled with the run, as you guys just talked about.
Now, there's no question about it, Tiffany. When you hammer a point home all week, and then early in the game, you give up a huge run. That's something that'll make Steve Wilks very upset.
So Missouri first down and 10 from the 26:50 to go here. First quarter, it's Beatty. And he'll pick up 8 yards on first down.
Beatty, again, a guy, they get him the ball multiple ways. This time a little end around. Number one, really carrying the load.
Bazelak off the play action, boots out to the right. And he'll dump it off short, and kind of a lazy pass attempt. To Beatty, it lands incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. If the ball slipped out of his hand, or he was maybe just looking downfield a little bit to see what was coming for Beatty. But an uncharacteristic miss of a wide open wide receiver by Bazelak.
Started out 8 for 8 passing, now 9 of 12.
I think it's important for Boston College's defense to keep changing up the looks on the back end, change the coverages up. You can't give Connor Bazelak the same look play in and play out.
Now we get an officials timeout. James Carter, our referee. It's an SEC crew today. They were at the Auburn-Penn State game last week. Bazelak again on play action. And this is a catch, and it's going to be a first down for Keke Chisholm. 6'5", and he has developed some pretty good chemistry with Bazelak. That's a gain of 17, and they'll move the chains.
That was just a great play call. He saw that Boston College was in man defense. They motioned him across, and the defender can't get through the trash fast enough. Easy completion to Chisholm.
This is a young defense for Boston College, especially up front. They're going to be rotating 4 true freshmen on that defensive line as Bazelak looks to throw again. Off his back foot, intended for Looper. He can't reel it in, and it's incomplete.
I'm not sure if he was trying to go to Beatty right there in the short pass, but Beatty fell down. He winds up going deep to Looper. That was right there. That was a nice throw. I'd like to see Looper come up with that. Wait a minute now. It's pretty acrobatic.
That's Maitre and Woodby almost with the interception there on the sideline. Basketball type play. Here's Bazelak again. Thrown underneath to Bannister, who had the touchdown on the opening drive, and he's got a first down here inside the 45 of BC.
Another nice throw by Bazelak. That time he recognizes zone coverage. Bannister just found a little open window. Bazelak put the ball on the money.
Tyler Beatty backed up 1,000-yard rusher Larry Roundtree last year. Obviously more of a dual threat than Roundtree, who's now at the Chargers. He's going to get it, and they'll flea flick. Down the field, man wide open. It's Toski Dove inside the 5-yard line. Maitre with the touchdown-saving tackle, and here's Mizzou again right on the doorstep.
Another exceptional play call. Dove kind of comes out a little lazy off the line, and Elijah Jones, Boston College cornerback, bites on it, gets behind him.
Now Beatty picking his way toward the end zone, and he got in. Touchdown, Mizzou. As BC's defense is on its heels right now.
They have no answers, Clay, at all right now. Pass game, run game, Mizzou is doing whatever they want at the moment to Boston College's defense.
Seven plays, 80 yards in under 2 minutes. Fourth rushing touchdown this year for Beatty. As Mevis comes on for the extra point. And the Tigers back in front by a touchdown.
The play that set it up here, we'll see Dove go down the field and just kind of pulls up a little bit late. You'll see toward the top of your screen. Looks like he's just going to shut it down. Then he kicks it into high gear, and Elijah Jones says, oh, I know I'm beat. And if that ball is just a little bit thrown out further, Dove takes that into the end zone. Nice job by the safety, but then Beatty does the rest here. Nice job with the zone run, patience, and then knows when to just pound that thing up for the touchdown.
So there's a deep shot for Bazelak. It comes on an unconventional play, the flea flicker, but you know, there's something that this Missouri offense, like you said before, has been lacking. A deep threat from Bazelak at times.
Well, and that's why that play was so important, not just to get the yards that set up the touchdown, but now that's in Boston College's head. They can't just sit on that short stuff because they're saying, hey, look, we just saw that quarterback throw a deep ball to Burns bad.
Second game in front of a hostile crowd for this Missouri squad. They lost a hard-fought game in front of 60,000 in Lexington a couple of weeks ago. Trying to win here in Boston today as Levy is back deep again, and another one through the end zone as we go to the studio. And Kevin.
All right, Clay, your AT&T 5G studio update. Georgia is destroying Vanderbilt, Acho, behind JT Daniels and Ladd McConkey.
Yes, it takes bravery to stand in the pocket knowing you're going to get hit, and then Ladd McConkey high-pointing the ball so the defender couldn't touch it.
Clay, it's 28-0.
All right, Kevin, Georgia and Kentucky, the only undefeated teams in the SEC East. Is anyone going to challenge Georgia in the East?
About Florida. Florida looked pretty good. They were an eyelash away from giving Alabama a game, possibly taking that thing over. I like the way they're playing, but, man, Georgia is strong.
All right, so BC is going to throw on first down. The slant route, Jalen Gill back on the field. His first game of the year. Missed the first three with a foot injury. He's hoping to get about 15 or 20 snaps today.
This is an important drive for Dennis Grissel. He had the interception, okay, and then they had the long run, but they're not going to be able to just run this ball 50 times a day. Grissel has got to have a day throughout the air, and that's a good confidence builder to Gill. I'm glad to have him back.
Gill, the transfer from Ohio State a couple of years ago. Grissel already with an interception thrown. That was on the first play from scrimmage for Boston College. Here's Garwo, another big run into plus territory again. Man, he is a load. 5'8", 214 pounds. Manuel finally gets him out of bounds, but it's a gain of 17.
When you run a single gap defense like Missouri, if one guy's out of his gap, it's out the gate. And right there, Blaze Aldridge, the linebacker, gets cut out the gap and it's gone. There's no one there. you can attack a lot. You can create a lot of negative plays with a single gap defense, but if one guy isn't there, it's a big play.
Well, their O-line so far living up to its billing. There's some future NFL stars in that front five. Away from center, deep handoff, it's Garwo again. Good hesitation, cuts it up, and he'll get to the 36-yard line.
And you almost get the impression on that play there, they've been hearing all week, we got to have an edge, we got to have an edge. Kentucky beat us on the edge. Well, Garwo's smart. He saw, he had the vision, looked like it was coming outside. He just cut it right up the middle like he did on the long run. And again, why not run behind that massive and very, very good, talented offensive line for Boston College?
Zion Johnson, the left guard, arguably the most talented offensive lineman for the Eagles, potential first-rounder. And now here's Alex Sinkfield, a nice change of pace back. Gets to the outside, inside the 20, as Missouri's run defense continues to struggle as this O-line is controlling the trenches.
Same thing, Kobe Whiteside, a defensive tackle, number 78, gets cut out of his gap, tries to jump, and a good job of Sinkfield just reading that. Run to daylight. If you're a running back, just run to daylight in this zone scheme, and so far it's working well for BC.
Sinkfield, a grad transfer from West Virginia. And BC 115 on the ground, and this is their second sustained possession after turning it over quickly on the opening drive. This time not much up the middle as Jeffcoat, the defensive end, shoots in to make the tackle.
It's like both these defenses, Boston College and Mizzou, on their heels. We got a shootout going on right now, potentially, with the way both these teams are playing on offense.
Missouri's defense lost 5 starters from last year's 5-5 team, including Nick Bolton, who's now the starting linebacker for the Chiefs. So there are some new faces out there and still some adjustments going on under the new coordinator, Steve Wilkes. 2nd and 8. Play action, Grossell got rid of it to Flowers. And he's down at the 11-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and about 3 coming up. Caleb Evans, the corner, got there to make the tackle along with Aldridge.
Another short route there, goes in motion for Zay Flowers and sneaks out into the flat there. As I said, you got to know where number 4 is. Because, you know, he'll have a few plays like that, just get a little bit, and then he has the potential to break a long one.
The give to Levy. Stays on his feet, and he is going to be very close to a first down, maybe a bit short. Devin Nicholson, the weak side linebacker, got him to the ground.
If I'm Jeff Hafley, here we go. I'm going for this thing.
And they are. The sneak. Grossell. Just enough. A couple of gutty 4th down decisions by both coaches already today, and it looks like they paid off.
And I think Jeff Hafley's saying, look, we don't have our starting quarterback. We're down a little bit offensively. We got to take advantage of opportunities when we're down on this side of the field, and that one really, really paid off. I thought that was an excellent call.
Hafley won 6 games last year, most of any first-year coach in the FBS. He's 42 years old. This is his first head coaching job after several years as a college and NFL assistant. Garwo wrapped up at the ankles by Blaze Aldridge, the middle linebacker, twice All-Conference USA at Rice. He's been a great fit at Mizzou.
He's really done a good job here. Exceptional career at Rice. Decides, hey, I want to play in the SEC. He's a wild dude now, right? Lots of tattoos, the flowing hair. He's a good player.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. An entertaining one to start. Boston College driving, trying to tie this one up. BC hosting an SEC team for the first time in 34 years. 14-7 Mizzou after 15 minutes in Chestnut Hill. ESPN College Football presented by Sling TV. Clay Matvick, Rocky Boyman, Tiffany Blackman with you from Chestnut Hill. There you see Frank Cignetti, the Boston College offensive coordinator. Spent 11 years in the NFL. He said the biggest key today, can't turn it over. Well, his offense has already done that once, but they've got second down and goal to go, looking to tie it up on this drive.
Enjoyed talking with him yesterday. Every player we mentioned, he said, boy, I love this guy. He loves all his players out there. I'll tell you a guy you should love is Trey Berry, their tight end, number 3, 6'6". I think he could come into play down here.
Grosel clean in the pocket to the end zone, caught. That is a touchdown. Jaden Williams having a great true freshman year, and that is his 3rd touchdown catch of the season.
And they are super high on Jaden Williams, the freshman. Had the big touchdown on their opening drive last week, and that was a great job by Dennis Grosel, a confidence builder, looked calm in command. Good job hitting his speedy freshman wide receiver.
And the extra point is good for Connor Littman, the true freshman. Jaden Williams, one of 10 true freshmen on the 2-deep, and he makes an impact play here for the touchdown to equalize the score.
And when you run the ball well, Clay, it opens up the play action. Exactly what happened here. We got to stop the run, coach. Well, and then you get some time, get a wide open wide receiver in the corner of the end zone. Great job, great just efficiency by this offense.
This season, along with their contributions to universities' general scholarship funds, for every field goal and extra point made, Allstate will be donating to the American Red Cross to help with disaster relief. We say thank you to Allstate. Dennis Grosel started this day very shaky, and you can see that his confidence is starting to grow, and it's been feeding off the ground game.
Absolutely. And you know that as a quarterback, you don't have to do everything out there. When your run game's working, you say, look, I can really lean on that thing, and then every once in a while you come off the play action and hit some wide open wide receivers. A good job by him, a veteran quarterback, getting his head back in this game and playing well.
And Missouri will start from the 25 after we check in with Kevin.
Hi, Clay, your Twisted Tea drop in. Northwestern is up on Ohio. And Acho, you know, sometimes you have great runs, and then sometimes...
Yeah, sometimes defense gets lazy. They thought he was tackled, and Evan Hull takes it 90 yards for the touchdown. That's called not being gap sound. If one person's out of their gap, you could end up in the end zone. Great job, Evan.
And the Cats are up 14-0, Clay.
All right, Kevin, thank you.
Same thing here, right? Missouri's defense, one guy's ahead of their gap, it's going a long way. It's a rule that's universal throughout football.
Well, this has been like a heavyweight fight so far. Each team throwing punches, and the other team responding in kind. And this is a pass from Bazelak, complete to Dominic Lovett, true freshman slot receiver. And it's a first down grab out to the 36-yard line.
And I talked about this earlier. A lot of the quarterbacks get all the attention, and they make the huge plays and the acrobatic throws and all this, but look at some of the quarterbacks that are having success. Look at Mac Jones. Had a very kind of under-the-radar year. Now he goes to the Patriots, and guess what? They're 2-0. Yep. People talk about Zach Wilson. Oh, he makes all these great throws. Yeah, well, he threw 4 interceptions last week. So boring football is sometimes winning football.
Beatty is spun down there. Sheeta Salah, the first time we've mentioned his name. Big defensive end out of Somerset, New Jersey. Maybe playing the best football of his career. No gain on that play.
That was a great job by Salah there. And I talked to BC's strength coach, Phil Matsua. He's a guy, he came from Ohio State with Mickey Marotti, and he put on a bunch of weight on Salah, and it's paying off. He's a tremendous player there playing defensive end for BC.
There's Lovett in motion. Bazelak to Beatty. Look at him create. And a marker is down as Brandon Barlow got Beatty by the ankle to bring him to the turf. Let's see what the marker's about.
Holding. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains second down.
Next on the left tackle, Javon Foster, the junior out of Detroit.
Yeah, it was a zone run, and it looked like he just came down and tackled him. A little bit of a stunt. Everyone thinks washing down, just grab the ankle there. And throw it every time.
This offensive line was missing right guard Case Cook. Hoping to get him back this week. It's 50-50 whether he would play today. Keep an eye out for him. Here's the tight end, Nico Hay, with the catch, and he is popped immediately after making the grab near the 30-yard line. Hugh Davis, the weak side linebacker, and Cam Arnold again throwing his weight around. So here's a 3rd down and long for Mizzou.
You wonder, do they just try some sort of screen to Beatty, because they run that play so effectively. Just try to get a few yards, get some better field position.
What do you expect them to do here?
I think it's either Beatty, they're going to bring him back in the offense. You also got Kiki Chisholm, their 6'5" wide receiver at the top.
I'm just going to try and get some field position for the punter, McInnes, as Salah makes another tackle on Beatty. And McInnes will try to flip the field.
And what a confidence builder for BC's defense, right? Mizzou's offense been doing pretty much what they've wanted to do all day. It's a great job there. Good job breaking on the ball. That's the thing. If they're going to throw short routes, you got to break on the ball, no yards after catch. That's what they did on that series, and it really worked. They're forcing the punt.
I got to be careful with Levy here, who's standing at the 21. Eli Drinkowitz, the Missouri head coach, said, BC might have the best special teams in the country right now. This is a high spiral kick from McInnes. Taken inside the 20 and immediately nailed is Levy. Check that, Jalen Carlisle with that hit. So BC will have it when we come back. Zay Flowers, a couple of catches, 31 yards. He's a great weapon, but so is Pat Garwo.
Absolutely. Pat Garwo playing well. Had a big run to open this game up. Zay Flowers, 2 touches. I think they got to get him more.
Garwo was listed as the 4th-string running back to start the year. Got the start again today. And they'll feed him here. And right into the teeth of that Mizzou defense as we go down to Tiffany.
Guys, when I talked to Zay Flowers, I got quite a surprise. He told me he didn't know he was fast until after the Duke game last year. He said he ran a slant route in that game, looked back at it, and said, I realized I'm actually faster than I thought. I was like, wow. Well, we've seen some of his speed and shiftiness on display today, guys.
No question about it. I don't know how, speed like that, you got to know you have it. Sometimes you see it on film, and you say, okay, coach, get me out there in the open. I can break one for you. He's a good player.
2nd down and 7. Grossell getting heated up. That should have been caught. Jalen Gill, perhaps still a little rusty. This is his first game off of injury. Caleb Evans right up in Grossell's face as we go to Kevin Connors.
Yeah, Clay, Army QB Christian Anderson has a couple of TD runs. Acho, 172, the other 75.
Yeah, he's averaging 43 yards a carry, and this is why. He's fast, like super fast. Like, he realized he was fast, unlike Zay Flowers.
There you go. Headed to Thayer Gate with a 14-3 lead.
Now we saw Army week 1. That's a pretty good team.
Really good team. Disciplined team, but they got some athletes on that field as well.
Grossell from a clean pocket over the middle, deflected, intended for the tight end, Trey Berry, but knocked away by Martez Manuel and Evans.
And another throw by Grossell, 2 in a row. They're just a little bit behind the wide receiver. It's going to be a small window. Those guys are open. You got to put the ball on the money. Just a little bit behind and going to force the punt.
Evans with 1 interception already this year. Nearly had another one. He had 23 starts at Tulsa before transferring to Mizzou. Booz Smith is back to return. This punt's going to be great field position for the Tigers, potentially. Grant Carlson, the reigning ACC Specialist of the Week, kicks it deep. And Smith is dropped at the 32-yard line by Gunnar Daniel. So Missouri gets it back. With 11 minutes to go here in the first half. Back in a moment. Second-year head coach is at the center of a social media buzz this week. Eli Drinkwitz told the media he'd rather be playing a regional opponent this week than coming out to Boston. He didn't see the recruiting benefit by playing here. Some BC fans took exception to that. Jeff Hafley, though, he did not. He laughed, took no offense. They talked on the phone. It's all good.
It's all good. I can see what Drinkwitz is saying. Look, it's all about recruiting and getting those local players. But, look, he's going to get his wish because, in a couple years, 2023, BC has to go to Columbia.
What goes around comes around.
There you go.
Tied at 14, just over 11 minutes to go here in the first half. Connor Bazelak has been efficient, 14 of 18, 133 and a touchdown. And Tyler Beatty, one of the other killer bees, Bazelak and Beatty, they've been the catalyst for this offense again today, as they've been all year.
They really have. And Connor Bazelak has hit 9 different wide receivers already in this game. He spreads the ball around, doesn't discriminate to anybody. Whoever's open, he's going to hit them. And then I'd like to see them get the ball to Beatty more in the pass game. That's where he's truly a weapon.
8 different receivers on the roster have a touchdown this year for Mizzou. Play fake to Beatty. Bazelak will hit him out in the flat. He'll scamper along the sideline and get it close to a first down.
Great play call there. He had 2 wide receivers go deep. Really, you could feel that Boston College's secondary was threatened. They get deep, and it creates a little bit of an opening there for Beatty.
They'll move the chains out to the 42. There's Beatty. That hole closed pretty quickly for Tem Lukabu's defense. Again, it's a young defensive front. Their best defensive lineman, Chibuzi Onwuka, out for the year. They lost him in the preseason to an Achilles.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about the youth up front. That was a nice play by Cam Horsley, the defensive tackle, a sophomore as well.
And this season for Beatty, a lot more touches, especially on the ground. Bazelak complete, and Kiki Chisholm trying to pull away out of a tackle, lost the football. Did it roll out of bounds? Cam Arnold knocked it away. That's going to be a first down for Mizzou.
Get a look at this here. Certainly a catch, and then the ball gets knocked out. Goes right out of bounds.
And nobody had possession, so first down at the 46 of Boston College.
Right now, Boston College has got to find a way to get Connor Bazelak off his spot. He's back there just calm and collected and playing pitch and catch.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of time for pressure on him. There is Looper cut down quickly in the flat. And Brandon Sebastian, redshirt senior corner, brought him down. Second down. $17 for 21. The yards per attempt, not very high. But again, there's an efficiency to his game that Coach Eli Drinkwitz appreciates.
Yeah, he just makes the defense make plays. When you play against Connor Bazelak, he's going to put the ball on the wide receivers. You got to keep them from getting yards after catch. They've done that well at times today. Got to continue to do it.
Bazelak had it knocked down at the line again. Jamin Muse, who had a pick 6 against Colgate in the season opener, got his hand on that one.
That's a good job there, bringing a little bit of pressure. I just said, we got to find a way to get Connor Bazelak off his spot. Okay, if you can't get to him, then reach a hand up in the air and knock the ball down. That's as good as a sack. He's going to force a long third down.
We'll see what Eli Drinkwitz calls for here. They've converted twice on third down so far. Bazelak fires to the sideline. Looper, did he get enough? Yes, he did. First down, Missouri.
And Bazelak just, again, does a great job. Collected back there, was never antsy, never looked like he was trying to rush things. Surveyed the defense, found the open wide receiver. Really impressed with him.
9 different receivers that Bazelak has thrown to already today. He's just got a treasure trove of weapons. Play number 8 on this drive. Play action. All kinds of time for Bazelak. Good coverage downfield. Now comes across the middle, and J.J. Hester, the freshman out of Tulsa, who they think has a big upside, makes a 17-yard reception.
And we've seen this a few times. It looks like Boston College is electing to drop 8 in the coverage. You see only 3, but the problem with that is when there's no pressure, you can't get there with 3. The quarterback has all day.
And a timeout called for by BC before the snap. $7:32 to go before halftime. Let's go to the studio and Kevin.
Yeah, Clay, Texas Tech trying to get back in it in Austin, but Acho, someone was reading Tyler Shuck's eye.
Yes, and that person's name is Josh Thompson, number 9. He was watching film. He knew the play was going to happen. This is Texas's first defensive touchdown since 2017. They led the FBS then. They haven't had one since.
Clay?
All right, guys, that's a good one in Austin. 2 really good teams out to good starts this year. All right, so Missouri with Connor Bazelak on the march. This defense for BC needs to stop here. What do they need to do?
Well, I think what you're seeing is they're electing to drop 8 into coverage, but the problem is Connor Bazelak knows this offensive scheme. He knows where to go with the football so well. He's just sitting back there, and he knows where the open space is. I think you got to find a way to get pressure on him, get him off his spot, make him rush a throw. I think they might try to elect to do that here because you cannot let him just sit back there and pick you apart all day.
Missouri back in the red zone again. They have scored on every trip this year inside the red zone. First touch for Elijah Young, the sophomore out of Knoxville, Tennessee. A bit smaller than Beatty, but he's a pretty good complimentary back.
Elijah Young, he's got a great burst. Former Tennessee Gatorade Player of the Year. They really like him. Young guy.
He's going to come off the field. No gain on that play. 2nd and 10 from the 18. Beatty back on. Lovett with the catch. Stumbles after getting hit at the 15. A penalty marker comes down. Lovett's helmet flies off. Isaiah Graham Mobley was in on that stop, and we'll see what this is going to be called.
And this is potentially a huge loss for Boston College if it's a targeting penalty on Isaiah Graham Mobley. He's their best linebacker. I'll have to get another look to see exactly what happened.
We were just talking about targeting with our officiating crew before the game today.
The runner was down prior to the ball coming out. After the play, personal foul, late hit with targeting. Number 19 of the defense. The previous play is under review.
Yeah, I have to see this again because they're going to kick this kid out of the game for this. I don't know.
I know you don't like that.
So the wide receiver is going down. He tries to bring an elbow, a forearm. And I guess that's what it's not a helmet, like a helmet to helmet in terms of he used the crown of his helmet, but the forearm looked like it caught the wide receiver as he was rolling down.
Well, it's got the earmarks of targeting.
It does. It looked a little more egregious than I originally had thought. Yeah, I mean,
but I know you don't like the fact that the kids are getting ejected for targeting.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, you kick a kid out of a game for that. Was he trying to purposely hurt him, hit him in the head? Yeah, I don't know. I just think that's a rule in general, and maybe not in terms of this play, but I think it's a rule that needs to be revisited for sure. I mean, that one does, by the letter of the law, forcible contact to the head or neck area. He used the forearm, hit the wide receiver in the head, and intent is not a part of the conversation at this juncture.
After review, there was no foul for targeting on the play. However, there was a late hit. That penalty would be half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
A big sigh of relief for Boston College because IGM is a vocal leader. The team feeds off his energy on this side of the football, and he will stay in the game.
Yeah, and there's some of the targeting rules there. I thought that, again, there was certainly a late hit. I think that was the correct call, but targeting and throw him out of the game for that, I think that was the right decision that was made there.
So here's Missouri. First down and goal to go. This will be the 11th play of the series. Beatty hitting the backfield, and it's IGM. That's a good thing he stayed in the game as he comes in for the big hit behind the line of scrimmage.
Huge play, and on the snap of the ball, he blitzes the A-gap right up the middle and makes a huge tackle for loss. He gets there before the offensive line even knows what hit him. Last week, he had a great play on 4th and 3. He is the energy, the juice, as they say, for this defense. He comes up big.
Temple transfer and a team-high 8 tackles last week against his former team. Now Beatty trying to find the edge, and he's cut down again by Isaiah Graham Mobley. 3rd down.
Somebody block number 19, Maroon. He's going to hurt us. I mean, watch this. He's just hunting back there, getting off of blocks, and then the speed. That's what really jumps out about IGM. He was at Temple last year. Always was a good player. Had some injuries a lot in his career, but now he's at Boston College making a huge impact.
Sellout crowd here at Boston College.
Can they get pressure on Connor Bazelak right here? That's the question.
They'll rush 5 right up the middle. Passes late to Dominic Lovett. It was behind him, 4th down.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. I think it's important with a quarterback like Bazelak. You got to try to way to get off his spot. They bring some pressure right in his face, right where the quarterback hates it. Forced Bazelak to throw just a little bit sooner than he wanted. It was behind the receiver, and they're going to force the field goal. Excellent job. He just looked like he had to throw that ball a little bit sooner than he wanted to, and that made all the difference.
Sir Harrison Mevis comes on for a 29-yard attempt. He's perfect this year, 3 of 3. He has made 11 straight field goals going back to his true freshman season last year, and he stays perfect. But that feels like a win for Boston College.
Absolutely. Great job by the defense stepping up, forcing the field goal. Nice back and forth game here in Boston.
For a moment, BC thought they lost Graham Mobley to a targeting foul. He stays in the game, makes 2 really big plays on the defensive stand, holds Missouri to 3. Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli on ESPN2 at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. They'll break down the Eagles-Cowboys, of course, paying special attention to the quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott this week. The Manning boys are getting great reviews.
They're going really well. And the numbers, as you said, are showing it. And I said it last week, I'll say it again. If you're a high school or college quarterback, you better be watching that broadcast because there's so much valuable information for the quarterback position that those guys are dishing out.
Isaiah Graham Mobley. His friends call him IGM.
And he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he plays with such energy, such ferocity. A great job blitzing up the middle. And then just goes to the outside. He's hunting, getting off blocks. That's what I'm talking about. You know, it's one thing to run and make a play when you're not blocked, but in college or pro football, if you can deliver, hit a block, get rid of it, and then make a play, that gets the attention of the boys in the NFL. That's a great job.
So the Eagles get it back on offense, down 3 with 5:14 to go in the half. Little pop pass here to Zay Flowers. We have seen that work pretty well at times this year, but Missouri was ready for it. It was Martez Manuel, the captain, the vocal leader for the Tigers, cutting Flowers down.
It was also a great job by Caleb Evans, the cornerback, just stringing that thing out. Okay, just stringing out, build a little bit of a wall, use the wide receiver's body, hold him, and just string that thing out to the sideline.
So a loss of 1 on that play. BC has 2 timeouts remaining. Missouri used 2 timeouts early in the half. We've got 1 left. Play action pass, Dennis Grosel flushed out. On the run, looking downfield. There's a catch for Trey Berry. We've been waiting to call his name, the big tight end.
You got a 6'6" tight end go to him, and I thought he had him a little bit earlier. Not sure if he saw him. And Trey Berry was open very early in this route. Breaks it. I thought you should hit him maybe right there, but he gets outside the pocket, gets a little better field of vision, and still able to put the ball in the money. I think if you hit him more toward the middle of the field, he has the ability to catch and pick up some yards after the catch.
Hunter Long led the nation for catches by a tight end last year for BC. He had 57 of them. Now, of course, with the Dolphins, they were happy to get Trey Berry in here as a grad transfer from Jacksonville State. And that one is going nowhere. Akil Byers, the super senior, leading the charge. And it'll bring up third down. Check that 4th down and 1.
What did Steve Wilkes tell us all week? Missouri's defensive coordinator, we got to build a wall. That was a good job of building a wall right there. There was nowhere for the running back to go.
No, they gave him a first down. So they'll mark it at the 35, 1st and 10 for BC. Sinkfield. Get about 4 on first down. Manuel another tackle. Sinkfield was the Mountaineers' second leading rusher last year behind Letty Brown.
Yeah, nice player. Just one of the, again, talk about 4 running backs that Boston College has. They rotate a fresh body in there. That's never good for a defense. He does a good job. It was a nice job by Martez Manuel on that with the cutback. If you don't make that play, that thing's out the gate.
2nd down and 6. Jet sweep. Xavier Coleman and Blaze Aldridge makes the stop, the middle linebacker, again with a nice play. Here comes another 3rd down for the Eagles.
Opening game against Central Michigan. What do you have? 3 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. He's been a big play guy. You know, welcomed addition as Missouri. Look, and a great job of pre-snap recognition. He saw where that play was going. He started moving before the ball was even snapped. That's what a linebacker has to do. Recognize the formation and start going before they run the play.
He had 27 tackles the first 3 weeks. Grosel backpedaling, now steps up, down the middle, wide open. C.J. Lewis to the 25-yard line of Missouri. What a 3rd down conversion that was for Dennis Grosel, a gain of 38.
Great job of Grosel standing tall in the pocket. There's a little bit of pressure, but he just steps right up inside and finds Lewis. There's 2 wide receivers in the area. I don't think you want that, but he hits the right one, and then Lewis takes it from there.
Now, Grosel only completed 7 passes last week in the win over Temple. That's his 8th completion today.
And again, Jeff Hafley said, look, we got to put the ball in the air. In today's football, you can't just run. These defenses are smart. They're going to stack the box. So good job of balance right now for this BC offense.
Alex Sinkfield again. Grad transfer will push ahead for a few. Chris Turner, the defensive end, number 39, makes that stop. So here's Boston College on the drive in biggest game of the year of their season. They're 3-0 for the first time since 1999. They can have the lead at halftime, Rocky.
They can. They're doing a good job bouncing back. I like the balance. Missouri's done a decent job stopping the run here of late, but Boston College has been coming back with a pass.
5-step drop. Almost intercepted, should have been. Sean Robinson, a pick in the first quarter. Almost had his second.
If you're Dennis Grosel, you cannot throw this football. I mean, Robinson is standing right there. You can't throw that ball. It's almost like he pulled the trigger and threw it before he even saw the defender. Got to see that guy and cannot force that ball right there. That's the one thing Jeff Hafley talked about. You can't turn the ball over.
Right.
And they got lucky on that one.
Specifically Grosel.
Yeah.
So BC dodges a bullet. Here comes the 9th play of the drive, 3rd down and long. Getting chased. And down he goes. Big sack for this Mizzou defense. Aldridge and Rakestraw. Martez Manuel also a part of that play. And so it's 4th down.
It was a great stunt. They brought the pressure off to the quarterback's left side, and then Blaze Aldridge, you see him in the middle. He comes to the quarterback's right side. Just a nice stunt there. Came absolutely scot-free.
So a loss of 10. Clock is running. BC has timeouts to take. And there's a timeout finally called for by Jeff Hafley. So we'll see what BC decides to do here. Down 3.
Video coming up on the Geico Halftime Report. We'll check in on the Shamrock Series in the Chi and the eye-popping offensive stat for both Notre Dame and Wisconsin. Plus, speaking of eye-popping, how about what Georgia's doing in Nashville? And my guy Sam Acho excited to talk about Texas again, Clay, coming up at the half.
All right, Kevin, Connor Litton, a true freshman. First career field goal attempt to try and tie it from 49. You bet. Got it. Veteran place kicker Aaron Boumeri out for the year with a hip injury. So Litton and Longman have been sharing the kicking duties. And how about Connor Litton, the true freshman, getting it done just ahead of halftime?
I always like to have your first attempt be from 49 yards in a really tight game right before half, and he nails it. And I'll tell you what, if you're Boston College, you're Jeff Hafley, you like how this first half went. It looked early on like Missouri was going to kind of blow this thing out, but you hung in there, you stuck to the ground game. Defense came up big late in the half, and then you get the field goal. Looks like they're going to go in tied up.
Dennis Grosel, at times, Rocky, has looked shaky. One interception, first play from scrimmage. Another one that should have happened. Some balls that were thrown behind receivers.
Yep.
But all in all, I think Jeff Hafley will be happy with this score.
But he can't keep putting the ball in danger, because I have to imagine Missouri's not going to miss those easy interceptions, some of those balls that are behind the wide receiver. At some point, they're going to come up with those plays. You just can't put the ball in harm's way like that.
Abrams drain. He's got great speed, and he gets it to the 35-yard line. That's the last play of the first half. 17-17 at the break. And Boston College will have the football to start the second half. Good one on Chestnut Hill. Kevin Connors, Sam Acho in the studio.
A very competitive 30 minutes of football.
Welcome to the Geico Halftime Report.
A very competitive 30 minutes of
ESPN College Football presented by Sling TV. Ready to start the second half in Chestnut Hill. 17 apiece, Missouri and Boston College. All right, you got the Yankees and Red Sox going on at Fenway this weekend. This is a pretty big one, too, and it's turned out to be an entertaining football game. I think Boston College has the momentum now.
Absolutely. If you're Boston College, you got to feel real good about where you're at right now. Missouri, a good team, has landed some early blows. Every time Boston College, untested coming into this game, they've answered. We've got a good contest here.
Yeah, it wasn't a good start for BC through the air. Grosel throws an interception on his first pass attempt, but that ground game got it going, got it turned around. And a field goal at the end of the half to tie it up at 17, and Boston College will start with the football from the 25.
In the first half, as I talked about, Missouri landed some blows, but then Boston College answered. This is a 67-yard run by Pat Garwo. Missouri came into the game knowing they had to stop the run. That was priority number one, but Boston College did a great job of that, sustaining that run in the first half. But Missouri's had a couple big plays of their own. The flea flicker sets up, that's Dove, and sets up Beatty for the touchdown.
Garwo, 6 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown. And he'll get the first touch of the second half and another strong run for Pat Garwo. Let's go down to Tiffany.
Guys, freshman kicker Connor Litton is going to remember that 49-yard field goal going into half. It tied the game up. When I spoke with Coach Jeff Hafley, he told me, it's funny, when I recruited Litton, I told him he was going to have a moment just like that.
Yeah, the moment early on. That's right.
49-yarder. True freshman out of Christiansburg, Virginia. Stay with the hot hand, and right now it's Pat Garwo. Over 100 yards again, and we got a lot of football left.
And I thought that was the key. Missouri's defense toward the end of that first half, Clay. I thought their defense did a good job building that wall, stopping that run. BC coming out of the gate here at halftime, having some success with the run, but I still say at some point Dennis Grosel is going to have to make a big-time throw or two if they want to win this game.
He doesn't have the arm that Phil Jerkovic has. Again, he might be out for the year with that hand injury, but the playbook is more wide open this week. He's going to take a deep shot looking for Flowers. Again, it's not a great pass. A Caleb Evans, good coverage for Missouri.
And we saw this in the last game, Clay. We saw it early in this game, too. Grosel's ball just gets about halfway through the air, and it just dies. Just a little bit short, and the defensive back in perfect position. You got Zay Flowers. That guy can run. Put that ball out there and try to just let him go get it.
The transfer portal has been so good to Mizzou. Aldridge, Evans, Green. They picked those three guys up. Impact transfers on this Missouri defense. Second down and 10. Garwo behind that big offensive line of Boston College will make this third down and manageable as Jeffcoat makes another stop.
Garwo just a great job of vision, great job of patience, which you have to have. You run behind that zone scheme that they have. And they got to continue to ride him, but they got to have balance.
Travis Levy in the game in the backfield. To the right of Grosel, the big tight end Trey Berry will go in motion. This NFL-style offense for the Eagles. Grosel getting some pressure up the middle. Now he's going to run for the first down. Nobody there, and he slides across the 50-yard line. They'll move the sticks.
And that's what Dennis Grosel does. Phil Jerkovic, what his magic was being able to just stay, hang in the pocket, extend that play. That's not Dennis Grosel. If it's not open, this is man coverage. The backs of the defenders are turned to the quarterback, so he takes off. It's a smart play there by Grosel.
Jeff Hafley telling you and I yesterday, we love Grosel. He's a program guy. We really do trust him, and nobody knows the offense better.
And he has a ton of experience in it.
Garwo back in after a quick breather. He's mad at the line of scrimmage. There's a Caleb Evans. Man, there's nothing that guy seemingly can't do. Good in pass coverage, good in run defense.
That's right. Those secondary players, those corners. In today's football, with all the one-step passing, all the things done in space, you got to be able to cover, but you got to be able to tackle in space. And Evans just does a great job at it.
So second down and 9. Grosel away from center, little play fake, and there is Jalen Gill. His second catch of the day. Abrams Drain makes the stop, but that's a 15-yard pickup as BC continues to march.
He's a great job, Dennis Grosel. He recognizes there's the safety in the middle of the field is way deep, so he knows that slant can just fit right inside. Great job of the wide receiver also just walling that defender off and making the catch.
These are Gill's first snaps of the year, missed the first 3 weeks. Two receivers stacked to the bottom of the screen. They will run it. Garwo. Man. Devin Nicholson rode him down to the turf, but another 8-yard run on first down.
I got to be honest, I've been hearing about this Boston College offensive line all year, and maybe the first couple games didn't quite see the dominance. I'm seeing it right there. Look at that surge. Offensive linemen on the second level, getting those linebackers really showing up today.
Garwo averaging over 11 yards per carry today. Another extended series for the Eagles. They'll feed the star running back again, and it's another first down.
And Steve Wilks, Missouri's defensive coordinator, has got to be beside himself upstairs in the box. The priority all week, stop the run, stop the run. And look, if the team's running the ball against you, there's not many answers, right? That's like your guys got to be better than their guys. And right now, Boston College is taking it to Missouri's defense in the run game.
Steve Wilks hasn't coached in college since 2005 when he was Tyrone Willingham's secondary coach at Washington, still adjusting at Mizzou. Grosel on the boot, hits Williams in stride, and it's going to be a short pickup. And it's Rakestraw escorting him to the sideline. Jaden Williams, a touchdown already today. He now has touchdown catches in 3 of their 4 games.
Yeah, he's been a great weapon for them, a freshman. But I'll tell you what, Clay, I'd really like to see Boston College get Zay Flowers involved in this game. Only 3 touches in the first half. He's the game breaker. He's in the slot at the bottom of the screen. And now he's going to be the top stacked receiver there. Try to get him open.
Grosel is looking that way. Cox fires and gets it to C.J. Lewis. First down, goal to go, Boston College.
And I thought he had Zay Flowers maybe open too, but not a bad idea to throw to C.J. Lewis, who's 6'3" and 215 pounds as well. And you can just like the stack route there. It kind of helps you get off the press and man-to-man coverage, and a great throw by Grosel. That's what he's got to do. He's got to make a few of those in this game, Clay. There was one.
That's one of his better throws, not just today, but maybe this year. Quickly to Flowers. There's your man, Rocky, and he dives inside the 5-yard line. Rakestraw will get credit for the tackle. Second down and goal.
Yeah, it was a good job by Rakestraw. It's not a job I would want. Tackling number 4 out in space out there on the corner. I thought Flowers may have just stumbled a little bit, but that's a tough duty there, and a good job.
Longest drive of the day for Boston College. And it's the one out of the gate here in the second half.
Tight end, Trey Berry, to the top of the screen. Okay, now they're going to bring him in.
He's right off of Luchetti's hip. Garwo in the backfield. On second down, there's Garwo. Look out, touchdown. Wow.
Offensive line, Clay. Taking it to him. No other way to say it. It's just a typical zone run, nothing fancy, nothing about it. But an offensive line that's firing off, and they're running those Mizzou defenders. They're getting them running, and then Pat Garwo is a great zone runner. He knows when to hit it, and he hit it perfectly.
True freshman Connor Litton knocks in another extra point. And Pat Garwo, behind those people movers up front, gets his second touchdown rushing today, 24-17. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Parents Weekend at Boston College. Sold out at Alumni Stadium. First time a sellout has happened here since Clemson came a-calling in 2018. And Boston College has the lead after a 13-play, 75-yard drive in 6:40. Pat Garwo, his second touchdown run of the day.
They've been fantastic. And again, the time, 6:40 off the clock. What's that do? Keeps Connor Bazelak and this Missouri offense off the field.
That's a kicking mistake for Danny Longman. A closer look at the offensive line with pocket protection brought to us by Nationwide.
And this was all Dennis Grosel on that last drive. He did a great job extending the play and picking up the first down with his feet. An excellent decision there, and then also a key throw. We talked, he's got to make a few. This was a big throw, and that's what set up the touchdown. You get that, you get the running by Garwo and that offensive line. This is a pretty formidable attack right now for BC.
There's Jeff Hafley. This would be one of the Biggest wins, if not the biggest, in his short time here at Boston College, if they can pull it off today. Tyler Beatty will get the first touch of this series for Mizzou. Drinkwitz told us about Tyler Beatty, Rocky, that I should have used him more last year. Now his concern is not to use him too much.
Right, that's the thing. You can't wear the tread off of those tires early in the season, but when he's so effective, what do? You got to win football games, and you win more football games when you get the ball in the hands of number one.
We'll fake it to him this time. Bazelak setting to throw, underthrown, and it's picked off. Josh DeBerry, the stud nickelback, with a takeaway, his second interception of the year.
And this is where Boston College thought they had an advantage. If they could force Bazelak to throw deep, they thought they had a shot, and this Boston College defense has come up with something they desperately needed, the turnover. They give it back to their hot offense.
Midway through the third quarter, Jeff Hafley told Eagles fans, come early, tailgate early. If you don't want to wake early, then don't go to bed.
Yes.
And he got a good crowd here today on Parents Weekend.
Absolutely. And look, we were walking around before the game, some great tailgating going on here, but maybe some of those youngsters there came right in from being out last night and into the stadium.
Taco Bell welcomes you to the Live Moss Student Section of the Year contest. Use hashtag Student Section Sauce to get the committee's attention, and go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. I wonder how many of those pulled an all-nighter.
A little sauce maybe last night was enjoyed by a few. Did I say that?
Only their second turnover of the year for Missouri, and Boston College will try to capitalize as they keep feeding the man, Pat Garwo, who has 136 yards rushing today.
And at some point, Missouri's going to have to make the decision to bring an extra guy in the box. There's only 6 guys in the box on that last run. Garwo has done just such a great job just grinding defenses down.
I haven't seen a lot of Travis Levy out of the BC backfield today because Garwo has been so explosive. They fake it to him, and out running here, Grosel. That's a designed quarterback keeper off that play fake. And he gets it done. Abrams Drain makes the tackle, but that's a gain of 7, so 3rd and 1.
I know he's trying to get the first down there, but you don't know if you want your quarterback, your second quarterback of the season, taking a big shot into his back like that.
Yeah, they don't have much behind Grosel. Dalen Menard, a redshirt sophomore, 3rd year in the program, but he hasn't taken any meaningful snaps yet. And Matthew Reevy, a redshirt freshman out of Cincinnati, yet to hit the field. That's a first down. Garwo again. Evans makes the stop as that offensive line, Tiffany, continues to work hard.
Clay, they are the most experienced group on this team, and when I spoke with Center Chris Lindstrom, he told me they recognize Grosel stepping into a big spot, so they told him, we'll block for you for 10 seconds if we have to. He also said Grosel bought the guys all donuts this week, and he got his favorite Boston cream from Dunkin' Donuts.
There you go. Look, I've never known an offensive lineman, Tiff, that doesn't like donuts. Ask Cole Kublik about that. Okay, that's a smart play by Garwo there.
How about linebackers?
Yeah, we did too.
This has got to be demoralizing for the Missouri run defense. You know, they've been talking about how they've got to continue to work to improve that part of their game, and Garwo has just continued to expose this flaw.
And it's really been the runs up the middle. You can tell all week they've been talking about versus UK, we let them get outside, we got to have an edge, and maybe they're overcompensating. They got to start loading up in the interior part of that line to try to stop this bleeding.
Go right back to him. First down.
And Clay, I've played defense my whole life, and I can tell you that there's nothing more demoralizing when the other team is just running the ball, and there's not a thing you can do about it. And right now, I think that's the case for Missouri's defense.
Boston College came into the day 41 points per game, ranking 19th in the nation. knew this was going to be their toughest test so far today. Things are going pretty well here for Boston College as Garwo picks up 3 more. Brown makes that tackle. UFC 266 tonight from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 2 title fights. The return of Nick Diaz to the octagon to take on former champ Ruthless Robbie Lawler. Prelims on ESPN News, ESPN Deportes, and Plus starting at 8 Eastern. To order, go to ESPNplus.com. And this Mizzou defense getting punched in the mouth right now. On second down, Grosel throws. Open is Lewis, can't reel it in. Probably should have been caught. Evans was in pursuit. That should have been a first down.
And that was literally the same play. It looked like that C.J. Lewis had the big catch before the touchdown on the last drive. That was a great ball placement. It was down low, away from the defender. He's got to come up and get that little pressure in his face. I give Grosel credit for hanging in there and delivering the football. Should have been caught.
C.J. Lewis, a great dual-threat quarterback in high school, Cheshire Academy in Connecticut, but came to Boston College as a wideout. Levy back in the game in the backfield. Grosel backing up. Now pointing downfield. He's just going to run it himself. Got a block from the tight end. There's a penalty flag. Grosel is knocked out by Carlisle inside the 10-yard line. That's a run of 30 for the quarterback, Grosel.
And I think this is coming back, but what a shame. What a great job by Grosel pointing out to his own guys who to block, who to pick up. It could be a first down still, depending where they mark it. I think it was a tight end.
During the run, holding. Offense number 3. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay third down.
Yeah, it was a great job by Grosel. He saw a huge opening off to his left and took off. He told Trey Barry to, hey, block that guy right there, and Barry just happened to hang up with him. Yeah, block him, block him. You can see him turning around. He's got an arm around him. I don't love that call at all right there. Come on.
I'm with you. One of the reasons Trey Barry transferred to BC from Jacksonville State was to learn how to be a better blocker and get on to the NFL. So it's going to be 3rd down and 4 after the penalty and another one off the hands of C.J. Lewis. And now 4th down.
And again, that's not the easiest catch in the world, but one C.J. Lewis has got to make.
Now this is a gray area certainly for BC. We have seen Connor Litton, the freshman, hit a 49-yarder already in this game. They're going to keep the offense out on 4th and 4.
This is kind of risky right here. If you don't convert, you give Missouri the ball back, good field position.
Grosel. Can he win the race? Diving! Dennis Grosel on the hoof picks up the first down for the Eagles.
And all the coaches, all the players talking about the moxie that Grosel had all week, and a great job. Just a good decision, didn't try to force the ball into a throw. Hey, a little bit of an opening, and then the dive and the reach. That's a gutsy performance right there. That's going to fire his entire team up.
Phil Jurkovec was the #1 quarterback coming out of camp. Got injured week 2 against UMass. Looks like he's going to be out for the year with a hand injury. Dennis Grosel at the controls now and doing a fine job today. Eagles leading by 7, looking for more, and they feed Garwo again. Cuts it up the middle. Gain of 7 on first down. Brown with the stop.
Missouri's D-line looks tired, Clay. They look tired. They look like they're just tired of getting pushed around out there, but that's the reality. And Boston College just looks totally content. Now they get the conversion, a new set of downs to just keep feeding this run. Keep Missouri's offense and Connor Bazelak on the sideline.
Garwo with a new career high for rushing. That's his 20th carry. Goes over 160 yards. This has been fun here in Chestnut Hill so far today, but a lot of great games coming your way across the networks. Clemson and NC State, the next two opponents for BC on their schedule. They're meeting at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN. West Virginia, Oklahoma tonight on ABC.
Everyone's wondering what's going on with Clemson. Only scored 14 points last week against Georgia Tech.
Garwo steps out of a tackle. He's inside the 15.
And this is just old school football right now for BC. They're packing everybody inside a phone booth here and pushing bodies around and letting those running backs, Garwo in particular, just find a little room and plunge forward.
It's an NFL-style offense. You don't see a lot of teams in college football huddle up anymore. You don't see a quarterback working under center. Frank Cignetti, he's got his signature all over this offense. Spent 11 years in the NFL. Play number 14 of this series. Garwo is, actually that was Sinkfield that time, wrapped up after maybe a yard gain.
And I want to go back to what you just said there. We've seemingly for the last 10 years, it's all about speed and tempo on offense. I feel like we're seeing more teams going back to ball control and huddling, and why not? Why just continue to try to run 110 plays a game, eat that clock up, keep the other team's offense on the sideline? I think it's the way to go. We're maybe starting to see the tide turn on that a little bit.
Grosel out of the shotgun this time, takes it from the center, Alec Lindstrom, and he got some pressure right up the middle, throws it incomplete. Intended for Travis Levy, but Johnny Walker, the defensive end, got home. So it's 4th down and 6, and we'll see if Connor Litton can do another number here. This will be an easier kick than the first attempt.
Another chance for the youngster here. Come up big.
This will be from 31 yards out. He made his first career field goal on his first career attempt from 49, just ahead of the end of the first half. So Boston College takes a ton of time off the clock, and they extend the lead to 10. A 16-play, 7-minute scoring drive. The field goal makes it a 2-possession game now. Boston College, who has completely dominated time of possession here in the second half.
13-42. Wow. I mean, that's incredible job there by that offense. They had mostly done with the run, but a few key passes in there by Dennis Grosel. Some scrambling by him was also key.
Mizzou has had the ball for 38 seconds since halftime. Their offense has been in the deep freeze. And Abrams Drain will take a knee as we go to the studio and Kevin Connors.
Yeah, Clay, it's been a defensive battle in Chicago, or more bluntly, it's been a rock fight, but we're tied up again. Graham Mertz to Kendrick Pryor. The Irish have run it 20 times for -3 yards. 10-10 game, mid-third.
Yeah. You're Fighting Irish. Of course, Brian Kelly can pass the great Nuke Rockne with a win today.
That's right.
For most victories in Notre Dame history.
That's a heck of a contest, an old school slugfest going up there. Notre Dame, Kyron Williams not being able to run the ball. Not sure what's going on there. I think the answer is Wisconsin can play some defense, but we'll see. And then, of course, the Irish, if they get out of that one, they got a huge game against the Bearcats next week.
Connor Bazelak, 20 for 27, 182 yards, a touchdown. That what looks like a crucial interception thrown on the last possession. What does he need to do to get back in this ball game?
I just don't think he can be content anymore just kind of taking what the defense gives him. I think they got to start pushing this ball. They need some big plays because they're not, because of how well Boston College is running the ball and controlling the clock. How many more opportunities is he going to get?
That's Kiki Chisholm. That's not exactly a deep shot, but give him 11. First down.
We'll take it. I mean, it's a good start to this drive. You can see some tempo by Mizzou. They know they got to put some points on the board here fast.
They've basically kept Tyler Beatty in check today. We get a couple of yards on that run. Brandon Barlow makes the stop, and that is likely going to be the end of quarter number 3. First ever meeting between Boston College and Mizzou. And it has been fun. Missouri trying to change their fortunes in the fourth quarter. They've got the football when we come back. Boston College trying to go to 4-0. They hold a 10-point lead going to the fourth quarter. Rocky, Tyler Beatty averaging 162 yards from scrimmage coming into this game. He's been held in check for the most part
He really
today.
has. My Notre Dame math says that's 16 touches, only 63 yards. They got to get some more production out of him. But I'll tell you what, Boston College doing a good job, especially containing him in the pass game. You've seen some of those defensive ends chipping him and hitting him before he can get out into his route.
Here comes some pressure. And it's tipped at the line, and it lands incomplete. And now this Boston College defense looking inspired.
Yeah, they've really fed off the offense's production here. Just getting in the face of Bazelak of Rashida Salah, getting hands in the face and tipping the ball. Big third down here.
Mizzou 3 of 7 on third down today. This is the nation's best third down defense.
Got to consider putting some pressure on Connor.
Bazelak, wide open man, caught at the 42 by Dove. And they're going to mark him out at the 22-yard line. Toski Dove with a big play, a gain of 40.
And I know it's 3rd and 9 and you want to sit back here, but I just don't think you can let Connor Bazelak sit back there and play pitch and catch. You got to get some pressure on him. They only rush 4, and he's just sitting back there, and he finds the open wide receiver. That's what he does.
And now Missouri going with tempo. Nobody covering Bazelak on the boot, and he's going to run toward the stick. Isaiah Graham Mobley escorted him out, but that's going to be close to a first down.
A smart play there. Seeing man coverage and just taking off and picking up the easy yards. But, yeah, Boston College, when they were having success in this game against Bazelak, they were bringing some pressure and getting him off his spot.
First down, goal to go for Missouri, but hold on, there's a penalty flag down. Missouri's only been flagged once today. Here's James Carter.
Players in the formation. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, first down.
Missouri up in the tempo a bit that caught BC off guard.
That's exactly right. And that's something that Missouri characteristically does. But look, they're behind 2 scores. They're going to amp up the tempo a bit. And Boston College are trying to substitute, trying to get the perfect scheme going, and they caught him. Here's where Missouri really traditionally likes to run the ball once they get inside the 15.
Beatty's the back as Chisholm goes to the right side of the formation. We haven't seen Bazelak up under center much today. Beatty picking his way toward the goal line. He'll be stopped inside the 2.
We got Missouri playing some big boy football there. Their offensive line getting a little surge.
You can't get much better than that in the red zone.
There you go.
BC says, oh, no, you don't.
Who else? Number 19, IGM, coming up with a big play. I love watching him play.
And he got a little help from Vinny DePalma.
But that's when you want your linebacker to really step up. Ball's inside the 2-yard line. You need to stop.
Here comes the crowd. 3rd and goal. 9th play of the drive.
On BC, I'm really going up to try to stop this run.
They're going to give it to big Michael Cox, the walk-on running back, and he walks on in for a touchdown. Redshirt freshman out of Atlanta scored his first career touchdown against Southeast Missouri State, and he gets his second here today.
That was a little too easy if you're Boston College, but credit Missouri. Nice drive there. Connor Bazelak with the scramble, couple nice throws. Tyler Beatty really starting to turn it on, and you can see Jeff Hafley is frustrated. He had a 2-score lead on this team, and they've come back, and now they're very much back in this game.
Now the big kicker, Harrison Mevis, out of Warsaw, Indiana. As flags fly, the kick is good. They haven't had a lot of penalties in this game, but now they're starting to throw them around.
Missouri's only had one, right?
Before that, before this one, perhaps.
Illegal substitution against the defense. More than 11 players in the formation. That penalty is declined. The try is good.
Yeah, you're right. They still have one. And BC needs to work out some substitution issues. 12:41 to go in the fourth. Missouri now getting some momentum back as Michael Cox scores to cap the drive. Missouri with a 9-play, 75-yard drive to pull back within 3. Good one here between the SEC and the ACC. And next week on the ACC Network, number 9 Clemson hosting Boston College in Death Valley. The Tigers have won 10 straight and 12 of 13 against these Eagles. BC could be undefeated going into that one. Don't have the ACC Network? Go and get it. ACCN.com for instant access.
And that's where if you're BC, you can come out of here with a victory. You go and you face a Clemson team that doesn't look like the Clemsons we've seen in, say, the past 4, 5, 6 years.
Well, Phil Jurkovec, not only watched from the sideline today, but remember against Clemson last year, BC built a 15-point halftime lead against the number 1 team in the country in Death Valley. DJ Uiagalelei, we were still trying to figure out who this young man was. In his first career start, rallied the Tigers back. They won that game 34-28.
And Jurkovec, 2,500 yards and 17 touchdowns last year. He was going to come into this season as probably the top quarterback in the ACC, and gets the hand injury a couple weeks ago. It's very unfortunate for him, but he's a big-time player.
So now the ball is in Boston College's court, and more pressure here on this Missouri run defense. Can they get off the field?
Yeah, but they got to have a little energy right now. They've taken a bunch of shots to the face by Boston College's offense. 29 plays, 13 minutes the last 2 drives, but now they're still in this. This is a 3-point game. They can find a way to get a stop here. They're back in this.
First down from their 25. Here's Pat Garwa, career-high 166 rushing, but Missouri gets to him quickly this time. Isaiah McGuire, the defensive end.
And I think that's the key to playing the zone, is you just string that thing out to the sideline. You don't allow cutback lanes. You don't allow the ball to cut back across or inside. That was an excellent job of execution right now by that Missouri defense that, let's face it, the last couple drives has been looked a bit maligned.
Dennis Grosel has been a bit more than a game manager today for the Eagles. 12 of 20, 130 passing, a touchdown. He did throw that pick on the first play from scrimmage. Flowers goes in motion. Oh, here comes some pressure right up the middle, and that is thrown away. Incomplete. Devin Nicholson in hot pursuit. And I think the BC fans are worried about maybe getting an intentional grounding here. There is no flag.
And Nicholson comes scot-free. It looked like they may have brought more than BC had for protectors. Forced to get rid of that football.
The pass was outside the box, and the pass made it to the line of scrimmage.
He was outside of the tackle box, and the ball was beyond the line of scrimmage, so no intentional grounding, so 3rd and 9.
Good job of getting rid of that ball here, but it's a huge play. This situation is really like 11 C.J. Lewis and also Zay Flowers toward the bottom of the screen.
Grosel getting pressure again, and again he got rid of it, but Carlisle was breathing down his neck. It's 4th down as the Missouri defense stands tall at a critical point.
What a great call by Steve Wilkes here. He loads that line of scrimmage and he brings his safety, who's one of his best cover men, right? He's great. He's got 2 interceptions, but he chooses to bring him on the blitz to the top of the screen scot-free. Really forces that errant throw.
That felt like an NFL-style defensive series for Mizzou.
Really did. They really stepped up there, and some great play calls by Steve Wilkes.
Yeah, you could feel the influence there from Wilkes. That's a fair catch called for by Deontay Boo-Smith, the senior out of Kansas City. So Missouri with great field position and over 11 minutes to go, down 3, has it back.
ESPN College Football is presented by Sling TV. Replace cable with affordable live TV with Sling. And in part by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com.
Luke Kuechly, one of the all-time greats at Boston College, then of course goes on to the NFL, and he played under Steve Wilkes, who was the defensive coordinator at Carolina not that long ago.
Yeah, and Steve Wilkes had to love that last drive right there. The key, Clay, was stopping the run on 1st down. It forced a 2nd and long, and then when you have 3rd and long, you can bring the dogs like they did and force a bad throw. That's textbook defense there. Great stuff by Steve Wilkes.
Luke Kuechly, the pride of St. X High School in Cincinnati, along with someone else I know. This one thrown deep, on the money, but was he out of bounds? Yes, he was. Kiki Chisholm couldn't stay in bounds.
Wow, almost a big play. And Chisholm's going to try to make a case and getting that left foot down. And I like the ball placement, having it on the outside of the wide receiver, just a little bit too far to see if he was able to force him out. Yeah, wasn't able to get anything down. Great job by the cornerback there. Sometimes you can't play the ball. You got to play the receiver. You did a good job knowing where the sideline was, pushing him out.
Looking to throw again. Bazelak dumps it off short. It is Chisholm. Spins out of a tackle, wrapped up near the 48-yard line by Valdez, who missed the first 3 games of the year with a hand injury. The captain brings down Chisholm. So here's a critical 3rd down in this football game.
Critical, and I'll go back to it. I really think Boston College has to bring some pressure, get Bazelak off his spot. When they haven't, he's been able to deliver the football.
Oh, it's great to have these on-campus crowds back. Third down and 5. Bazelak throws, caught. J.J. Hester, first down. They go to the freshman.
Clay, that was a big boy throw right there. BC brought 7. 2 off the edge, 1 up the middle, right in his face. He knows right where to go with the football, and perfect ball placement. Excellent job by Bazelak. I still think that was the right decision to try to bring pressure, but look, sometimes a good quarterback makes a big play.
Said it before, Bazelak's used 14 different receivers this year. I mean, it doesn't matter who he goes to. It seems like he trusts them all. Here's a play-action pass, another caught football by Kiki Chisholm. That's going to be a gain of 8.
Tell you what, Bazelak, a couple big throws on this drive. He needed to step up. The defense needed him to step up. He finally gets the ball back, and he's very much in command of this offense right now.
We go under 10 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Beatty looking for the first down. He's got it in a couple yards more. As the pile pushes close to the 30-yard line.
Right now, Missouri is doing what Boston College was doing on offense, right? Lots of runs on the ground. The offensive line has some surge. A couple key passes here and there.
Again, this goes back, though, to that critical stop for the Missouri defense. They had to have it. And now it feels like Missouri's offense has received some confidence from that stand. Bazelak pumps and gets it in the hands of Barrett Bannister, the sure-handed veteran receiver. Marcus Valdez got him to the sideline. That will be Actually, a loss on the play, 2nd down and 11.
It was a good job of BC's defense. Their secondary playing deep to short. All right, you can give up the short throw there, but protect the deep route. Force the quarterback to throw it short, and worked out well.
Tennessee at Florida tonight on ESPN. Missouri will host Tennessee next week. They've got their next 3 at home. Bazelak steps up. He is going to slide down inside the 30-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down. And now Eli Drinkwitz, he's onto the playing surface, and he wanted a penalty.
And Boston College brought the corner blitz. He was untouched. But a nice little head fake there by Bazelak, and then with the run, yeah, he wants a little, hey, man, hit our quarterback.
Missouri played in front of 66,000 in Lexington, lost that game. It was a hard-fought defeat. Can they pull off a win here in front of a sellout crowd in Boston? Timeout. Eli Drinkwitz calling a timeout. The first of the half with 8:05 to go. We're going to step aside. 27-24 BC. A big 3rd down coming for Eli Drinkwitz's offense. Missouri, a 3rd down and 9 with 8:05 to go, trailing by 3.
Look at that. How about the difference in the 2 quarters here? Boston College came out of halftime just ground and pound, controlled the clock, and now it's Missouri's turn. But this is the play of the game right now for Missouri's offense. I think Boston College is going to try to bring pressure. I think that's their best option. It's up to Connor Bazelak to find an open guy and make a throw. Towski Dove, 86, has been a big play guy for Missouri today.
Bazelak has converted all 3 3rd downs here in the second half. Does he have another one in him? Needs to get to the 21 to pick it up.
BC showing the blitz.
Here comes the pressure. Beatty stays on his feet. Down the sideline, 1st down. What a great play by Tyler Beatty on a low throw. Not only did he catch it, but he turns it upfield.
And what an amazing play call, Clay, by Eli Drinkwitz. He knew he was bringing the pressure, so what's that mean? No one's there to pick up Tyler Beatty. They've done a great job of covering Beatty in the pass game all day. They knew he was going to bring it, and he had a chance to be open. Gutsy play call.
And they go right back to him on 1st down. Gets it inside the 15.
Wow, I mean, that's takes guts to make that call right there. Sort of a screen, a little flat pass to your running back.
Eli Drinkowitz is reminded of Naeem Himes, who he had at NC State, Darrington Evans, who we watched at App State in recent years. Beatty is such a weapon, and he was a slow starter today, but that's one of the biggest plays of this contest.
That's right. The big times of the game, that's when your guys got to step up.
And stepping up here is Bazelak, and he will just take it inside the 10 and lay down, short of the 1st down marker. But a very safe play, a very smart play by Connor Bazelak.
And we talked about Connor Bazelak, right? Low heart rate guy is what Drinkwitz called him, and we've seen today, especially on this drive, Clay. He's known when to scramble, known when to get the ball out, known when to hand it off. Excellent drive here. They got to punch it in.
Well, the red zone has been a playground for Missouri all year. Can they stay perfect? Trailing by 3. 3rd and 2. Beatty through the hole. Touchdown, Missouri. What a drive. And the Tigers go back in front.
Missouri on that drive gave Boston College a dose of their own medicine. Some opportune passes, strong in the run game, and then the touchdown is just right up the middle, right up the gut. Take it to the defense. He's downhill on a track, breaks a tackle by IGM. What a statement drive by Missouri.
impressive. 11 plays, 57 yards in 5:20. Well, Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One, a Big 12 statement game in Norman. West Virginia and number 4 Oklahoma. The Sooners have won the last 8 against West Virginia, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the app. The last win for the Mountaineers in Norman, 1982.
2 years old last time that happened, but Oklahoma, they slipped one spot after the narrow victory over Nebraska last week.
Yeah, the college football rankings presented by Goodyear. You see OU at the number 4 spot. And Georgia having no problem at Vanderbilt today. Penn State leading 38-10 over Villanova.
Iowa State's got to wait around all day to play Akron, 7:30 p.m.
Said it before, Clemson and NC State, they're meeting
Huge game
today. And those are the next 2 opponents for Boston College, who now is playing from behind again with 6:18 to go. And then we'll start from the 25 when we come back after this visit with Kevin Connors.
Yeah, and Clay, after Wisconsin kicked the field goal to go up by 3, Notre Dame would answer Sam Acho with Chris Tyree, 96 yards.
Yeah, Chris Tyree with the field return. What's special about this is that all the Notre Dame players stayed on their blocks, but even more important, Chris Tyree's speed to the field and acceleration down the field gave them this touchdown.
Rockies Irish up by 4.
Yeah, Rock, your Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the Jack Cone Bowl now.
What a weird year for Notre Dame.
It is.
You can't really figure them out. They go late win against Florida State.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 29 of the kicking team. 15 yards will be added to the touchback spot. First down. That's
a mistake that Missouri could ill afford to make. Now they give BC much better field position.
Huge extra 15 yards. They're getting the ball on the 40. Can't have it. They've done a good job not having many penalties today, but that's a big one. Now for Boston College, critical to pick up some yards on first down to give them a manageable second down.
Best starting field position of the day for Boston College. Just the second penalty against Missouri. They're going to go with what's been working all day, and that's the running game. Alex Sinkfield gets the first touch on this drive.
And now you're in manageable territory here, 2nd down and 6. Full playbook's open. You still have the play action pass for Grissel, and obviously still the run game.
BC has its full complement of timeouts remaining. Missouri has 2 left. Oh, and now who drew who off? A lot of pointing going on.
Looked like Blaze Aldridge, the linebacker from Missouri, came up in the center. Lindstrom touched him as he crossed the line. We'll see what the call is.
Outside, defense, number 0, in the neutral zone, causing the player to react. 5-yard penalty.
Well, that's 20 free yards that Missouri has given BC on this series.
Yeah, again, a pretty clean game, but you see 25, Blaze Aldridge come up to the line. As he crosses into that neutral zone, Lindstrom gets a little touch on him. They called it on Akil Byers. I didn't see him move, though. Wasn't sure, maybe he lined up in the neutral zone. All right.
Adjust the clock to 5:41.
That's big. 5 free yards for Boston College.
Second down and 1. Right up the middle with Sinkfield. There's Aldridge wrapping him up. And it looks like it's going to be 3rd and short.
Great job, Aldridge. The linebacker, you've got to come downhill and sort through the trash, right? He just kept playing off, makes a tackle. Quick snap.
And Grosel keeps it, looking for room between center and guard on the right side, and he got it.
That was a good job. Just find a little crease by Grosel.
Well, Wake Forest got a win last night to stay unbeaten. And Charlottesville took care of Virginia. Clemson, of course, is going to have something to say in the Atlantic before it's all said and done. Syracuse got a win last night over Liberty. And in the Coastal, North Carolina got a game tonight on the ACC Network against Georgia Tech.
And North Carolina not starting off the season great, but how about the Demon Deacons, 4-0? Sam Hartman, their quarterback, 3 touchdown passes last night.
Garwo, a little stutter step as he crosses the line of scrimmage. He'll get a couple. So what's the strategy here
I
for
think
Boston College?
Yeah, I just think you got to keep doing what's been working. Just control drives again. Picking up yards on first down is the key, because now the whole playbook's open. And it just takes a little bit more pressure off of Dennis Grosel, the quarterback.
There's Jeff Hafley, 42 years old, ton of NFL experience, trying to change the culture at BC. It starts by winning. He certainly keeps it loose. Deep handoff, Garwo gets inside the 45 to the 44. 3rd down and medium. Aldridge another tackle.
Do a good job by the offensive line. This is where they've been good all half.
And you got to think that this is 4-down territory for the Eagles, Rocky.
Absolutely, right here. And if nothing else, try to pick up at least half of this yardage on 3rd down to make a manageable 4th down call.
Grosel away from center out of the gun. Levy in the backfield. Grosel's going to throw. And he's on the money to Zay Flowers, his go-to guy in clutch time to the 37, 1st down.
Awesome pass by Grosel right there. They bring the pressure up the middle, just a little quick slant by Zay Flowers. And the defensive back is playing off. Why? Because he respects the speed of Zay Flowers. And with that amount of distance between them, it's just an easy pitch and catch. That's the weapon. I think they got to continue to find a way to mix in Zay Flowers. He's such a formidable piece to this offense.
Back to Flowers again. Tiptoeing the sideline. Couldn't stay in bounds. Evans got enough of a bump on him to knock him out. And now Flowers is holding his hamstring.
Uh-oh. It's not good when you got a speed player holding a hamstring. They need him right now because he adds a lot of balance to this offense. I love that play call, right? Missouri's tired of getting hit with the run. You shoot one out there with a nice gain. Boston College hopes they get number 4 back in this game.
2nd down and 2. BC needs a touchdown, down 4. 2:30 to go. Grosel gives it to Levy. Haven't said his name in a while. He picks up the 1st down.
And Missouri brings their linebackers. They blitz. That was a run blitz on that play, and they still couldn't stop Levy in this offense from getting the 1st down. I mean, right now Missouri is selling out, doing everything to stop this run.
Missouri's got to start thinking about using their timeouts. Levy, a lot of daylight to the left side. 1st down inside the 10, and a late flag. We may have a face mask call on Levy.
See what the call was. It looked like a face mask on Rakestraw, the cornerback.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 23, 15-yard penalty, brings 1st down.
Oh, they're gonna get it on Levy.
Yeah,
going out of bounds.
That's a devastating blow to
Devastating.
Boston College.
Yeah, and it was a great play call too, because they've been running up the middle, so you get Levy in the game who has a little more speed, gets to the outside, and just as he's trying to get that stiff arm out there, you can have the hands on the face mask, you just can't grip it, you can't pull at it. That was the mistake that Levy made.
So instead of first down and goal from inside the 10, they mark it back to the 25. And it's 1st and 12. We'll start the clock. We're under 2 minutes. Grosel rolling out. Comes back to his tight end, Luchetti. The big-bodied receiver gets it inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Aldridge makes the tackle after a 7-yard gain.
What a risky throw. Frank Cignetti, the offensive coordinator, saying, no, 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 what are we doing? Late throw across the body of the quarterback, and they somehow find a way to make it convert, and Zay Flowers now back in the game. Great job by Grosel. It was risky, but it worked.
Play number 11 on this series. Levy right up the middle. Gets it inside the 15. It'll be 3rd down and short as we're just over a minute to go.
And a great job by Boston College overcoming that penalty. Had 1st down and 12. Get a couple plays together now, a 3rd down and short.
So what is Missouri thinking here timeout-wise?
I think right now, they got 2 to go here. They're just going to let it go. They're going to try to stop him here.
Levy, great second effort. He got the 1st down. That little extra backwards push from Levy got the 1st down. Timeout, 40 seconds to go.
Great surge there at the end by Levy. He knows it's money time, and then the quick timeout.
Missouri looking for its first non-conference road win of the Eli Drinkwitz era. And Boston College trying to go to 4-0 for the first time since 2007.
And they have 2 timeouts, and that's important because they don't need to save one to get the field goal team on the field because it's a 4-point game. So they can still run the ball right here a couple of times in this situation.
And Travis Levy is in the backfield to the right of Dennis Grosel. It'll be Grosel on the keeper. And a great run, gets it to the 5, and quickly BC uses another timeout.
Gutsy play call right there, Grosel, and then Hafley, as soon as he goes down, runs down to the official, gets the timeout. In just 7 seconds, eke off the clock.
Tension in Chestnut Hill.
This is wonderful.
Well, kick off your Week 3 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific time with our countdown crew. Before he squares off against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert sits down with Nina Kimes. Plus, you've got Most. All of it leading you right up to kickoff. Matt Ryan, NFL MVP 5 years ago, became a legend here in the Boston area. Of course, his Falcons out to a slow start, 0-2. They're at the Giants tomorrow.
Would you tell me before the game his senior year, 4,500 yards?
Yeah, 2007. That was the last time BC started a season 4-0. They can do it with a win today.
I think BC's got to try to maybe take a shot with a pass here. Try to hold on to that timeout.
And now Missouri wants to spend a timeout. Each team with 1 remaining.
BC fans don't like it. This is fun stuff, having these crowds back.
Jeff Hafley, he downplayed the importance of this game a little bit leading up to this matchup with Missouri.
Yeah, he kind of did because, look, he said this is just a normal game for us. I don't know if that's the truth or not. This is a huge game because it's a measuring stick for his team. We talked about they're 3-0, but the opponents they played haven't been top-notch competition. This is a huge game for them here with Clemson coming up next week.
We're going to stay in the ACC coming up. Louisville and Florida State. Here on ESPN2.
Let's think of the weapons Boston College has. Zay Flowers, number 4. great down here. Also, Trey Berry, the 6'6" tight end, both those to the top of the screen.
Levy's in the backfield. Grosel under center. Wants to throw. Pressure coming to the end zone. Incomplete. Trey Berry was covered well in the secondary. Ennis Rakestraw was all over Grosel.
And Steve Wilkes decided to sell out there, bring the blitz with the corner. Rakestraw got right into the grill of Dennis Grosel. Still got plenty of time here. Third down.
3rd down and 3. BC can get a first down at the 2-yard line.
If you're BC, you're reaching in your playbook. You're calling your best play, the one you've been holding on to all year.
The backup quarterback to start the year, Dennis Grosel. Hands off. Levy finds a hole, finds the end zone. Touchdown, Travis Levy. Just muscled his way into the end zone with 25 seconds left.
Go with what brought you here, right? It's been the run game all day long for Boston College. In the critical area of the field, game on the line, go to it. Travis Levy downhill for the touchdown.
Now the critical extra point to make it a 3-point game. And the freshman, Litton, bangs it home.
Yeah, great job with the play call. I thought they might try a pass here one time before they went to the ground, but again, it's just you've been pounding away at this Missouri front all game long, and the game's on the line. Why not put it into the hands of your offensive line? They're the ones that got you here, and Levy punches it in. Now, the only downside is they left 25 seconds on this clock, and Connor Bazelak, who's had a couple nice drives here this second half.
And he does have a timeout to work with. Levy now with a touchdown run in every game this year. BC 25 seconds away from perhaps going to 4-0 for the first time in 14 years. There's Harrison Mevis, a very accomplished field goal kicker. He's got a strong leg. If Missouri can get into field goal range, he could tie it up.
And he's got a 53-yarder against Central Michigan in the opener this year, so he's got the leg.
Keep in mind, Tyler Beatty is back deep for Mizzou. He's going to call for the fair catch. I mean, that was certainly returnable for Beatty, but they want to start clean at the 25.
Yeah, I think, look, just start clean, get your offense out there. I mean, it's going to be up to Bazelak to move them down the field. And he's been great. Remember, Boston College has brought the blitz. Sometimes it's gotten Bazelak off his spot, but the last couple drives, Bazelak has really hung in there with the pressure in his face and made some nice throws.
Missouri's run game has been a problem today, held under 100 yards so far. Bazelak 267 through the air. He's going to have to get it done through the air here on this series. One timeout left. Not a lot of time to work with. And there is BC calling its final timeout.
Boston College and Jeff Hafley get a look at the opening formation there for Missouri.
You talked about it at the start of the broadcast. Connor Bazelak's going to have to take some shots downfield. He's going to have to make some big plays. He's got some weapons. They're going to need to get those weapons involved to get down the field and set up potentially a game-tying field goal.
Yeah, he can't be content just to dink and dunk this thing right now. 25 seconds. He's got to get the ball down the field and at least give Mevis a chance. Remember, again, he has a 53-yarder on the season. And I think if you're Boston College, you want to know where Kiki Chisholm is, number 6. They're 6'5" wide receiver. And you also got to know where Tyler Beatty is, the running back.
Missouri trying not to go into October with a 2-2 record. Bazelak on first down, down the middle, off the fingertips of Barrett Bannister. Not a lot of time coming off the clock. Second down.
And that ball sailed on Connor Bazelak. He had him. It's wide open. You got to get that ball, throw over the middle. It's risky when it's high because it gets tipped up and the secondary has a chance to get it. But I think that ball is a little bit lower. Bannister has a shot. He's not the tallest guy. He's just 6 foot tall.
Bazelak down the seam again. This time it's caught by Bannister. They've got to hustle up, get up to the line.
Try to clock this.
And that's what they do with 11 seconds to go in the ballgame. And Missouri saves their timeout. Obviously, they need to really get to about the 35-yard line of Boston College to feel good about Harrison Mevis' chances.
Right, so they need about, 25 yards or so? Boston College, you got to keep everything in front. You can't give up a big play right here. See the defensive backfield staying deep.
Stepping up, Bazelak, and that is caught by Kiki Chisholm. How he got around the defender, Brandon Sebastian, I'll never know.
And Brandon Sebastian made a great play on the football. And Missouri, of course, going to use their timeout, their last one. 6 seconds left. It was a great play, but it took some time off the clock. So now just one shot here to the end zone.
This is a game-saving catch for Mizzou.
It really is. It was a great job by the defender stepping in, but Kiki Chisholm just wanted that ball more.
Right now, they're looking at about a 61, 62-yarder. You talked about Mevis, his long of 53. He's a big boy. He can put some power into a football, but they would like to pick up a few more to give him a little more room.
And I think just about one more play is all you have here, 6 seconds. Might be time for them to try to throw this in the end zone.
Or they've...
We got something really quick to the outside to
Right.
give Mevis a little bit of a shot, but it's got to be quick, only 6 seconds.
Bazelak goes to that sideline, and there's Bannister again. He steps out at the 39-yard line. About a yard short of the range that the Missouri coaching staff told us that Mevis would be good from. This will be a 56-yard attempt. For the tie. Harrison Mevis. Got it! Wow! And we're tied up! Oh my! Mevis with a career long to send this one to overtime.
That is a fired up sophomore kicker right there. 3 yards further than his longest field goal of the season, 56 yards. Wow.
Out of the hold of the punter, Grant McInnes stays inside that right upright.
It was good from 56. I don't know if it would have been good for 60. It just snuck in that goal post.
He has never missed a field goal attempt in his college career.
Wow.
13 for 13, and it's a lucky 13 for Harrison Mevis as we go to overtime at Boston College.
Kevin Connors in studio. Boy, is the heat getting hot for that man. Mike Norvell, Florida State 0-3 for the first time since 1976. Bobby Bowden's first year. They're going to try to get right against Louisville. You'll see that game coming up next after overtime in Chestnut Hill. Clay?
Yeah, we knew this was going to be good, Kevin. Didn't think it was going to be this good as a big-time field goal from Harrison Mevis 56 yards ties it up. All right, so new overtime rules this year. Each team gets one possession from the opponent's 25 through the first 2 overtimes. They must go for 2 after a touchdown, starting with the second overtime, and only 2s in the third overtime and thereafter.
Missouri won the toss, and they elected to defer. That's what you want, because you know what you have to get once you get the ball back.
So Dennis Grosel and the BC offense have it first in the overtime. Zay Flowers makes the catch for a gain of about 4 to the 21. You know, you think back to that field goal, they needed that extra play to Bannister to the sideline with 6 seconds left to give Mevis the chance, because I don't think it would have made it otherwise.
No, it was just barely inside the upright, just had the distance, so that was a key play. With just 6 seconds left, they were able to get just a few more yards.
If BC scores, Missouri will have a chance as they go with Garwo inside the 20, Manuel the tackle. So a third down here. And Missouri's defense has been better in the second half, Rocky, than it was in the first half.
It's been better. Now, the last drive Boston College had, their offensive line kind of got back to doing what they were doing most of the game here. You have to imagine they're going to still lean on them.
BC has converted 10 times on third down today, 16 chances. They fake the jet sweep to Flowers, man wide open. It's Levy. He's got a first down. He lowers that shoulder again like he did on that touchdown before the end of regulation. He picks up 10. First down and goal to go.
Boston College just does a great job of condensing the formation, getting everybody down inside the phone booth, and then boom, Levy is out, getting to the perimeter in a huge conversion. And now Boston College has the ability to go back to trying to run that football.
Levy stays in the backfield. They'll give it to him. Missouri read that all the way as number 25 makes another tackle. Blaze Aldridge has been outstanding today for the Tigers.
Huge job slipping the block, making the tackle. Now Boston College is going to try to go quick here.
In the overtime, to the end zone. Flowers is open, touchdown. Great touch by Dennis Grosel. And he finds Zay Flowers for the score.
And Clay, maybe the throw of Dennis Grosel's career. Game on the line, calm and cool. They've been running the ball, and just throws an absolute perfect dime to Zay Flowers in the back of the end zone.
Missouri said all week, we've got to know where Flowers is. He escapes in the end zone for the go-ahead score here in OT. And Litton stays perfect on the day. It's 41-34. Mizzou has the ball next.
Again, running the football. Now on first down, go a little bit quick here. Missouri's defense is still kind of standing around, but Boston College snaps the ball and just a dime in the back of the end zone. What a great throw. Dennis Grosel slips through the back of that defense, maybe uses the ref for a pick a little bit. And you got to give it to Dennis Grosel. I mean, he's a guy last week only put the ball in the air 15 times, but I thought he got a lot of comfort out of that game. He has looked collected in this one and made some big passes.
Remember, he threw an interception on the first play from
right,
scrimmage.
You and I are looking at each other like, what's going on? Here we go. That's what you got to do in life, right? You have some adversity, you have a setback, you can't let it get to you. You got to find a way to flush it out of your mind, and that young man has done that today.
Connor Bazelak and the Tigers get their chance in overtime. He wants to throw on first down, steps into it, toward the end zone, and that is intercepted. Picked off Brandon Sebastian, and Boston College is going to win this game.
And Clay, remember on the drive that Missouri had right before the end of the game to put them in position for the field goal, it was Brandon Sebastian that almost came up with a pick. And this time he does it in overtime and ices the game. Just a great job in coverage. They know where Bazelak's going, high points the football and comes down with it. And what a win for Boston College, 4-0 on the season.
Second interception of the year for Sebastian. Second interception thrown today by Connor Bazelak. And they stormed the field in Chestnut Hill as BC will
look at that.
Go to 4-0 for the first time since 2007 when Matt Ryan was still here slinging it around and got him to an 8-0 start and a number 2 ranking.
Look, we said it at the beginning of the game, we didn't really know where this Boston College team was. They were 3-0, but the competition wasn't that great. I think we found it today, Clay. This is a very good football team.
Let's go down to Tiffany.
Team, what does it feel like to accomplish something like this?
It's unbelievable. I'm proud of the team. They're resilient. We got great fans. We got great students. Our kids don't quit. They don't flinch. They love each other. Our culture is so strong. I can't even talk right now. I'm so proud of them.
How proud are you of your quarterback, Dennis Grizzell, staying composed down the stretch?
It's unbelievable what he was able to do. The passes he made, the O-line, the run game, Sebastian on the interception, the coaching staff. This is a team effort. It just shows everybody we're coming.
Did you learn something new about your team after this performance?
No, I know we're resilient and we'll never flinch. I told them we were going to take it in the fourth. We took it in overtime.
The biggest win of the Jeff Hafley era at Boston College. They could be ranked next week heading into their game against Clemson in Death Valley. For Rocky Boyman and Tiffany Blackman, I'm Clay Matvick. We hope you enjoyed it. 41-34 the final in overtime. They celebrate in Chestnut Hill, now Louisville and Florida State.